What was that? What do you think you're doing? Just don't complicate my job, okay?
Deft hands, Cap.
Keep your sights up, friend.
You're a deft hand, Luke. There it is. Just yank the drive, and I'll do the rest. Now that we have the data cartridge, I can finally find out where that scholar I'm looking for ended up. Got it. His name is Reginald Cheney, and he joined a sublight salvage crew. Only he's not listed on the return manifest. Must have made landfall somewhere he wasn't supposed to. Ah, yes. Here. There's a domicile on Monarch in Fallbrook, rented to the same bit card he used to buy his seat on the salvage ship. I should have guessed. What better place to lay low if you wish to avoid the authorities? Oh, it's nothing. I suppose I really didn't have much faith in actually finding him. Was a bit of a long shot, wasn't it?
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Remember Auntie Cleo? Because she remembers you. When you were sick, who took your temperature? When you were hungry, who gave you a needle full of love?
Rickles Malt Apple Cider. A hard cider for a hard life.
Have you had a moment to look into that little opportunity I told you about on Roseway? You don't hurry up. Someone will get to snooping around there before you do. What do you want, then? My hard-earned wisdom? That's right, dearie. The only independent station in the colony. That's us. Though for how long, I can't say. That all depends on Miss June Lay. It's almost time for today's episode of The Chairman's Children. Care to listen with me? Won a charming copper kettle off that girl who runs the pub. She's a fierce arm wrestler, but she's no match for your pal Gladys. Gracious. I was just sitting down for tea. Straight to the point, eh? All right then, on you go. Ask the common folk, and they'll tell you it's on account of all the monsters on Monarch desperate to gobble you up. Because that's what the board tells them, you see. I think they made some fool mistake that would make them look bad to the rest of the colony, and they're trying to hide the evidence. Those board folk are real prideful-like. Never want you looking behind the curtain, lest you see their derrieres. But old Gladys knows the score. The whole colony's not much more than a diorama, showcasing one board screw-up after another. That's why we gotta keep them from getting their grubby mitts on Groundbreaker. She's our mess. Probably. Every once in a while, we get these snippets of radio chatter. Edna shows them to me. Some man hooting and hollering about the light in us all. Claims he's transmitting from Monarch, but who knows if that's true. Might be true. Might be some new trick from the board. Oh, a little of this, a little of that. I buy and sell items that require discretion to dispose of. Knickknacks. Curios. I also knit throw pillows stuffed with the hair of famous tossball players. But that's more of a passion project.
What about non-famous players? I earned quite a reputation as a fifth-back during my seminary days.
You do have a favorable mop, I must say. But that's not what you wanted to talk about, is it, dear? Anytime, sweetheart. You know where to find me. Here, take a candy with you. If you're here for this week's magazine club meeting, you're a touch late. I've got a lovely little throw pillow. Just something I toss together. Like to keep my hands busy.
Rizzo's Purple Berry. A soft, sour mango shell around a sweet purple berry flavored center. Suck it, chew it, you can do it.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt a regularly scheduled advertisement for the following. And now for a special word from Chairman Rothman.
Greetings, hard-working citizens of Halcyon. In these profitable times, we need only look.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regular...
Well, well, well. What fine treasures might await...
Captain, look out! Okay, Captain?
I like what you've done with the place.
Rizzo's Purpleberry Punch. You want a punch? We've got
This is Halcyon. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement.
Now see here, What was I doing again?
To defend your corporate township from the dangers
Damnable
of
thing
alien
about living
wildlife
on a
and
space
gather
station. No pigeons to feed.
Talk to your local manager about applying
Oh, you can
for
feed the
training
sprats,
and
sure
lend your
enough.
life to protect
But
your
then the
own
neighbors
private
start
and
moaning about
property.
hygiene.
Military service does not guarantee full
Oh,
employment
I'm
rights,
sorry.
tax
Was
breaks,
this your
military
room?
discount,
I'll
health
just
benefits,
move along.
military burial,
Wait, this
hospital,
is
training,
almost
and more.
certainly my room. That's my underwear on the floor.
Halcyon News. Your mandated duty
Now
is
see
good
here,
citizen
I'm-
of Halcyon.
What was I doing again? Glad to see a friendly face. What'll it be? Didn't quite catch that. You'll have to speak up. Glass ear? Sorry, there's a lot of static on my end. Nothing to fear. Sorry again. The sound of Groundbreaker's engines has really got to me over the years. Huh? What? Huh. Now that I heard. Of course, most of our supplies come and go through merchants. Company ships and salvage runs are the only traffic we tend to get. I try and steer clear of that creepy fellow in the moon mask. If there's a cost to being a company man, he paid it in spades. Fine, as long as the board keeps its grubby mitts to itself. Chief Tennyson holds the ship together, the Promenade holds our economy together, and Sublight is the shoddy jewel in our rusty old crown. Our local garbage collectors. That Lilia Hagen never met a debris field she didn't like. She freely admits she planted her roots in Groundbreaker to escape board oversight, but I think there's more to it. She's unusual in the head, that one. Our Chief Tennyson has an independent streak, same as her mother and grandmother who rode this ship on the crossing. There's a reason the board's embassy is a glorified shoebox. While Junlei Tennyson lives and breathes, Groundbreaker remains free.
If you're here for this week's magazine club meeting, you're a touch late. Yes, dearie? Take that darling ship of yours down to Roseway, where that distress signal I told you about came from, and ferret out some tasty corporate secrets for old Gladys. Shouldn't be too tough for a fella like you, I'd think. Anytime, sweetheart. You know where to find me.
You know that sound when you've snapped on an injector clip? Ah, that's how you know your weapon loves you back. I got a full line of weapon modifications I'd be happy to show you.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement.
What'll it be? Only the usual. Marauders all over space. You ever wonder how folk who can't figure the bleeding edge technology of a spoon can manage to get ships into space? What ain't I got?
It's shorter. The Chief finally got enough hands to coordinate docking, and the board's got to make their shipments.
I thought Chief and the board were at each other's throats.
They were.
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist victims.
Hearty greeting, potential customer. Welcome to Auntie's Kitchen, a home-style consumable protein dispensary. May this unit dispense proteins for your ingestion. This unit is programmed to simulate shock at such assertions. Shock simulation non-functional. A trouble ticket has been filed. Shock simulation restored. Initiating shock subroutine. How dare you? Shock subroutine complete. Estimated guilt level of customer increased by 35%. Resuming protein dispensation protocol. May this unit dispense proteins for your ingestion.
Clever.
Gonna head to Vera's for whiskey and darts. Maybe not.
Some condiments are not for use with some meals. Napkins are not included. May this unit dispense proteins for your ingestion. This unit would clarify. There is a dead mechanic in the kitchen. User error in the maintenance of this unit's cutlery engaged several systems at once. The slicer, the grinder, the tenderizer. This unit behaves precisely as it was engineered. Neither this unit nor its corporate proprietor claim any responsibility for the mess. This unit is not designated for cleaning duties and cannot be compelled to accept another unit's responsibilities.
Is about the only thing holding this leaky old wreck together.
Itching to whack someone over the head? We can help with that. Not me, but it's in my blood. After the crossing, my family worked Eridanos, indentured to the corporations. I was born into corporate labor, but I'm the first one of my family to buy my way out. That's why I settled on Groundbreaker. It's the last bastion of freedom. Everything I sell is fresh from the forge. Technically, the metal formed billions of years ago, but it's freshly in this shape.
Terra-fried spratwurst, battered and fresh on the tail.
Sublight Salvage. Their front looks surprisingly on the up and up.
You reckon we can shop here, or is it all spoke for?
Leads on salvage? Doesn't even have to be broke yet. We'll take Sublight for life. Corporations never lifted a finger for me.
Welcome to Sublight Salvage and Shipping, a legitimate business for legitimate consumers. You the one flying the unreliable? Sure you are. Miss Lily has been expecting you. I'll unlock the door. Sure am. A few years back, they got me started on simple acquisitions. You know those latches they put on cargo bays ain't worth a damn? These days, I stick to HQ and look after Miss Lilia.
So you're the new captain in town. I was hoping you'd make your way to my office. Saves me the work of hunting you down. Lilia Hagen, CEO and Executive Director of Aggressive Operations. I'm guessing you already know about Sublight, otherwise you wouldn't have come. A little advice. Before you start telling lies, get a feel for who you're talking to. It's nice to see the Unreliable again. Useful ship. Hawthorne was my contractor. I'd recognize that leaky boat of his anywhere. I have a salvage job for someone light on corporate ties with a reliable set of wings. But there's a catch.
There is always a catch.
If you have a nav key to Stellar Bay, the job's yours. Interested? First, an embargo that's been active ever since the board pulled its forces off-world. Few regulations, plenty of freedom. And second, all the goodies that no one had time to pack. I like that initiative, but ease back on the throttle. Gladys at the Rest and Go might have what you need. If there's anything else, be quick about it. Time is bits. These days, the scrap business all but runs itself. Gives me the time to expand our interests into other sectors, where I can let my hair down. Our field is persuasive acquisitions. At least that's how my legal advisors tell me to phrase it. Not all of our salvage is abandoned when we find it. Sometimes it takes a polite conversation and a shot across the bow. You know, legal formalities. Thank you. I work hard to keep it that way. Very. I have this thing about numbers in spreadsheets, grids in general. I like to think of myself as the last honest businesswoman in Halcyon, but I'll settle for being the most organized one. Be seeing you. Make sure you aren't followed on your way out.
CNP Morse Pocket.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled...
If it isn't my favorite friendly freelancer. I hear tell some folk down in the townships are getting offered early retirement. Who'd think of such a thing? What would you do with all the time?
Hey there.
Need directions? Try an engineer. Groundbreaker's a bit of a maze. Talk to Vera if you need something. She's usually behind the bar.
I'll be just a moment.
Rizzo's knocking out.
Hey, Mr. Vicar. Do you ever get a little bit homesick for Edgewater? For that ocean stink?
No, I do not.
You're supposed to say yes and go on to explain why. I just want to have a conversation.
Of course you do.
We're now in orbit above Roseway, Captain.
Can we talk?
This Roseway business smells. Something tells me things didn't end well for the guy who made the distress call. And whoever or whatever got him will be waiting for us. What's there to know, Captain? Shady corporate town caught up in shady corporate shit. Tough luck for them, but maybe an opportunity for us. With a lot of these companies, the thrashing you take from your boss is worse than whatever a bunch of marauders will do to you. Doesn't exactly encourage calling for aid when there's a fuck-up.
We'll be here, Captain. Captain?
Don't they have anybody to greet arrivals?
Chewed up and spit out? What sort of creature, other than humans, would be so wasteful?
Please, clear the roadway. Obstruction of commerce is punishable by a fine of no less than 10,000 bits. Warning, having obstruction. Organic materials detected on roadway. Please ensure mechanisms are free of gristle.
Great work.
Delays in loading due to commerce obstruction will be deducted from all staff pay. Employee, you have been fined an additional 200 bits for commerce obstruction.
Here we go!
That's the last of them!
Clear the roadway. Obstruction of commerce is punishable by a fine of no less than 10,000 bits. Warning, having obstruction. Organic materials detected on roadway. Delays in loading due to commerce obstruction will be deducted from all staff pay. Employee, you have been fined an additional 200 bits for commerce obstruction. Please collect your ticket.
Shouldn't we be looking into that distress call? Not that I mislike feeling the wind in my hair. They left their own outside to die? Was it that bad?
I done had enough of this shit. I'm just the fucking tarmac guard. No one said nothing about fighting no raps. Alarms went off, raps broke loose, and I hightailed it in here to get a wall between me and them beasts. Scientist, name of Anton Crane. Someone said he's panicking inside the comm center. Forget I said anything about that. Wish they tasted like Sissy Pig. Them's good eating. Don't mention it. Anything else you'd like to know? Distress call? From here? Shit. They told me that weren't allowed. Got me. I just do what I'm told, and I was told not to do such. Oh, before I forget, Auntie Cleo's makes the best pharmaceuticals in Halcyon. Better than nature. Not like that crap Spacer's Choice peddles.
The ventilation shaft runs from the bottom of the lab.
Oh boy. I don't think I'm ready for another bar crawl, Captain.
I don't think you're supposed to be wandering around. Security's gonna tell you to make tracks. Want to treat yourself before you go? Something for the road, maybe? Annie Cleo makes the best pharmaceuticals in Halcyon. Did security talk to you yet? I don't really know you. Roseway's supposed to be closed off to visitors. Stands to reason you could be a corporate spy of some sort. Then again, there's nothing in my contract that says I can't sell the corporate spies. Your bits are the same as anybody else's.